Let's start with it.
What's going on, Prospecting Buddy family? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? My golly, man. We got Arrow in the building. We got Rob, Mr. MVP over there in the corner. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. We figured, we were going to take a couple-month break. That way everybody can get out, get some gold, some gems, all that good stuff. We can't be behind the computer 24/7, right? That's for damn sure. And as you know, we've done some... quite a bit of crazy things this summer, I'd like to say. What do you guys think? I mean, shit, we got the group dig back east that we managed to make happen. We had the 9-day road trip that we managed to make happen. I say we did some pretty amazing things. So for the PB family watching, this episode specifically for the Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp / PB group dig. This group dig was a paid group dig, and it actually turned out absolutely phenomenal from what I've heard. Of course, I was on the other side of the state, so I have no clue how it actually went. But guess what? These two guys down there know exactly how it went because they were there, they managed it, and I think they did a great job. So first, right off the bat, Arrow, good to see you, brother, man. Rob, good to see you, brother. Joe, nice. Good to have you here in the building.
Nice to be back.
With that being said, first and foremost, I hope all of you sitting at home has had a great week so far. I know the weather has probably been hot as hell in everybody's neck of the woods, but we're still out getting it done, right? So with that being said, first and foremost, let's go ahead and start off with Mr. Rob. That way, right down in that corner. Rob, so when we started constructing this group dig, man, what kind of were your thoughts? You know, I know we had kind of talked about doing something back east and didn't really know where we were going to start, but I think we have a good foundation now. I mean, what were your thoughts, man, when we were trying to get something like this scheduled way the hell over there?
My first thoughts was just trying to get an event over on the East Coast for all of us over here, that couldn't make it to you guys on the West Coast. Get a dig going. And my first spot, was where I live, Ohio. So right. I started reaching out to some of the local clubs, trying to do some co-ops, see if we couldn't do something, and it didn't quite work out the way we planned. So I had to start looking to my neighboring state, Indiana.
Right.
And that's where I found Mr. Jim McIntyre from Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp down in Greensburg, Indiana. I've known about him for a few years now. My prospecting buddy Ben Shears went down there a few years and told me about it. But it's about a 3.5 to almost 4-hour drive, so I never quite made the trip until recently. But
so I'd say once we got an official group dig situated, I think Rob thought to himself and he said, "Shit, now I have to drive." He's like, "I don't have an option now. Now I have to make that drive and see what happens."
The more you make it, though, the quicker the drive's going to go.
Seriously, that's what it boils down to. The more you do it, the easier it gets, especially with long drives like that.
The drive wasn't bad. It was the anticipation on how the event was going to turn out, being the first event I've ever done. I've never set up an event, and I was never down at Cottonwood yet, so I wasn't quite familiar with, personally the camp, except for videos Joe sent me and, Ben sent me and I seen on.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, it was a bit stressful because it was a little hard to get advertising on.
Right.
He was running around like crazy the whole time. I felt so bad for him, you know. That guy nonstop was working, keep stuff rolling.
See, and that's, the funny thing is when we first started trying to plan this group dig back east, I was kind of hesitant myself because I got to thinking, I'm like, fuck, here we go. I'm all the way on the West Coast. You guys are literally freaking miles and miles. Yeah, man, way over here.
Miles away.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have no clue how this is going to go. And at that point in time, I had put so much pressure on Rob and so much shit on his shoulders, and me and Rob were talking and we're like, Joe's part of the PB family. Joe's on the board with us. He helps things run and da-da-da-da-da. And, we were like, okay, well, we can ask Joe. I don't know if Joe's going to go for it. So we're kind of like, all right, let's bring him in, So we talked about it a little bit here and there on the conference calls. And, Joe, how did you feel when we first asked you? We said, hey, Joe, you want to be able to facilitate our first paid group dig bagging. So how'd you feel about that, man?
I was happy to help you guys. I knew it was going to be fun. I just hoped one person showed up and it was a winner for me, but it wasn't my checkbook paying for it. So, but it was a blast. It turned out to be a great time. Some people left because of the rain, but that's expected. Not everybody's diehard go-getters, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Well, and the thing is, too, is, I'm sure out of the folks that did show up there, they probably, it's not like they go out every weekend or every other weekend. This is probably something that came up and they had some time to go and do, and it just so happened to rain. I mean, I know personally, I love camping. I'm avid. I'm outdoors as much as I possibly can. But, there is a certain line that you cross. Me, Rob, and Arrow, we didn't have that choice. We were 9 hours away. So
yeah,
we didn't have a damn choice. We got soaked, and it is what it is. But
that was how Thursday and Friday was. It's like, no, my Idaho curse has followed me.
Yeah.
I was mad, but there's one point in time I was sitting in the tent on my pad, and it looked like inside my tent was a water bed. There was so much water going underneath my tent. The river came up like 2 feet in like an hour. We had to run back down on the sandbars. Everything had to be pulled back up in the middle of this pouring rain. It was after Friday night, it dropped fast, and the rest of the weekend was golden.
It was golden.
So,
it was not a wash.
What was the coolest find out of everybody there?
Oh my God! It's actually afterwards when my buddy Ben Shears got home and was cleaning up his con. A 0.5 something gram little chunker.
Oh, that's right.
Nice.
You know what? I need to find. That's right, man. I saw that and it blew my mind. And boy, he was.
It blew
happy
his mind. I think that's his biggest piece. And Ben hit it pretty hard. Like I said, he was the first person who actually reached out and invited me to go prospecting with him. So he was kind of my prospect buddy, my teacher, and he actually helped us out Saturday. If it wasn't for a few of the friends, prospect and buddy members actually helping out, it wouldn't have went as good as it would have because we were short staffed. Yeah. Joe was basically doing everything on the creek, and I was trying to run back and forth around the camp, make sure everybody was signed in, paid, everybody was doing good, trying to just keep everything running smooth. Yeah. And we had Joe Bossy, I think is his name.
Joseph Bossy, yes.
Yeah, from New Hampshire. Man, that guy is a beast, man. Not only is he a digging beast, but he just hopped right in and started helping people learn stuff. Took time out of his trip, man. It was just great. You could just feel the whole aspect of PB right there. And Solomon from Muddy Miner, he did the same thing. He was there to show off his Sarukas, but he jumped right in and started helping people out, learning how to pan, hopping on the 3-inch, the high banker. If it wouldn't have been for these guys stepping up, I would have been at a loss because I didn't have time. I'm glad that they got a chance to help Joe out. I really am. They helped make it possible.
No, that's absolutely awesome.
We definitely was going to bed early. Me and Rob were both in bed by 9:30. Yeah, we was out, man.
No, and some of the comments that I actually saw. I mean, we got Matthew. I hope I pronounced your last name right, brother. Matthew Rudisil in the building, and he commented. He said Saturday and Sunday was a blast. I found a few arrowheads. And he said your Peter bags are awesome too. I won one and found some gold in it. I mean, it looks like he had a hell of a time. He says.
He was a greenhorn too. Like I don't think he ever even had a pan in the water yet.
No, most of the people was actually
Joe.
greenhorn.
Yeah, he said Joe was awesome. That was awesome of teaching how to run a dredge. So, Joe, my hat is off to you, man. I mean, I
That's my
know,
buddy for life. Yeah, Matt is.
and I know for sure if I was in the same position as you, man, it'd be very tempting for me just to grab the dredge and go to town for 8 hours. But being able to, teach other folks on how to do that, man, my hat is completely off to you guys.
That's like finding a nugget every time someone else grabs the nozzle. It's just a good feeling to let people run it and give them the gold. It's when they light up and they see it, and it's fun. Someone found an earring too. I mean, a little gold earring, old Victorian looking one.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
wow.
With some gems
I
on
think
it. Yeah, it had some stones on it too. I don't know if it was real or not, but
I got a photo here. That I'd like to go ahead and.
I did find this.
oh yeah.
That is
that's pretty
absolutely
cool.
awesome.
Huge piece of like coral with some. You see where it started crystallizing at the bottom.
Yeah,
that's
it's great.
Yeah,
was
you
stuck-
sent me a photo of that. That's absolutely phenomenal. And that's the thing we're going to talk about here in a bit is, the plans for next summer for the Prospect and Buddy family. I don't want to get too deep into that just yet. We got a lot of goodies to go over and things like that. But here is a picture of the gold that he found. Oh, whoop, no, that's the wrong one.
Ha ha ha! This guy
That is gold.
Yeah.
That
There we
is
go.
gold.
picking on the old man. That's fine. That's fine. It's all good.
Inside joke.
Oh man, no! This is the picker here, as you can see right on his finger there. That's a nice chunky piece. I mean, you could see for size reference the pebbles right behind it.
You should make
Yeah,
that.
that's a half-inch classifier that stuck in it. He just happened to glance down, not even thinking anything would be there, and it was sitting there.
No, that's a phenomenal piece. I mean, and if any of you guys are friends with him, friends with Ben Shears on Facebook, he still has that video on his page. And my golly, man, he was extremely excited. I think any one of us would be extremely excited to find a big piece like that. That's
Almost
absolutely-
anywhere. Yeah, almost in any state that's going to make you jump.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I definitely have to bring up a few things. First and foremost, I would like to really give thanks to Jim McIntyre and his wife. They were phenomenal hosts.
Yep.
We had a situation with the payment situation. I kind of had different ideas on what was happening and installment plans and things like that. And things didn't work out for, I'd say, the first, 3-4 days prior to the event because we just were kind of not really figuring out the whole money situation. But once everything got hashed out and situated, I think Jim and his wife were phenomenal people. And
Great. Yeah.
next year, we're definitely doing another group dig over there. And, I'd really like to, speak with Jim a bit more on all the things he has going for his camp and what the Prospecting Buddy family could bring to Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp, you know what I mean? And make it such a phenomenal place year after year, you know what I mean? I mean, from what I've heard from all the folks that went, other than the monsoon rain and the humidity being 1,000 plus, I think it was a phenomenal dig. And I mean, Rob was calling me every day. I was talking to Joe, and both of them were giving me the rundown on how things were going. And, I was honestly over here on the West Coast, I was really, really praying and hoping that things worked out well. And at the end of the day, they worked out really good. I mean, we had kind of a hiccup with someone, but we got that squared away, figured out. But other than that, I'd say it was a pretty damn good group dig. What were some of the highlights? I'm going to start with you first, Joe. What were some of the highlights that you're going to remember for the rest of your life with that group dig? You know, was there any kids that were very impacted with the group dig? Was there a couple of adults that really absolutely enjoyed their time there? I mean, what were some of the highlights? Can you kind of give us some of those highlights for what you believe was a good couple of highlights?
I think everybody was new, so everybody was learning for the first time, and everybody just jumped on the nozzle. I wasn't even like asking people; they were just doing it. And I was like, "Go ahead, yeah." I mean, that's why it's sitting there. We'll fire it right up. You know, you want to go, you can go.
Right.
You know, I just had a great time, man. It was a bunch of good people, and I think it's fun teaching people how to get gold. You know, because you know instantly that they're going to be hooked, and it's going to change their lives forever. You know,
For sure. No, definitely. Definitely. Rob, what were some of the highlights that you thought maybe is going to stick with you for quite some time, man?
Well, there was a family that came there Friday night. It was the mom and her son, and the dad and the daughter come Saturday. But he sticks out in my mind because it just stopped raining, and we couldn't get into the, it was flooded. We couldn't get into the creek. And Joe Bossy, he's like, "Hey, come over here and check this out." And he gave him a jeweler's loop. And, and then next thing you know, he's over there inside the cleanup room, and Jim had a bottle of garnets, and he had the stuff laid out for the Sarukas, and he's down there like this. "I think I found a garnet. I think I found a payette." And it was just great. And then this kid made this whole weekend for me, man. I mean, he was down there. He was one of the hardcore prospectors I've seen. He was running the high banker, trying to work with the dredge. He was panning. I mean, he even found his own gold just shoveling a little bit of stuff in there.
Wow. How old do you think this kid was?
I'm thinking he was probably about 8, 9.
Wow.
Yeah, somewhere about there, maybe 10 highest.
Yeah,
probably. He was a young guy.
But boy, he was like hooked on it. And he was just so adapted to everything that was going on. He was sucking it in. He was checking out the rocks. I mean, he was asking questions,
Man, that's where it's at. My God.
He's hooked for life.
His
He's
mom,
hooked for life.
His mom got a chance to run the 3-inch dredge and stuff. And it was, and then the next day when the husband got there, they all had a blast. I mean, this kid made out like Christmas. He ended up winning our grand prize. He won, I think, a 3rd place prize. Joe gave him a sluice. Muddy Miner gave him a Saruka set.
Wow.
So I mean, it was like Christmas in August for this kid, and his whole family is hooked. I'm glad they got a chance to come out. But there was tons of people that made an impact. I mean, like Joe said, 75 to 80% of people were new, and they all found gold their first time. They all got to use high bankers or whatever they were interested in using. People just loved it. I mean, I had so many comments on how they never felt so at home at a new place in their life.
Wow.
They just felt like at home, and they felt comfortable with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just an awesome time. Everybody got along. Everybody is just having a blast.
See, and that's why I want to get my ass over there so bad next summer, is because, that out of all the folks that showed up, that kid is what impacted me the most, to my heart, because it's like when I was a kid and I was first figuring this stuff out and learning about it, like I soaked that up like a sponge. And so that kid being able to be around some of the greats like you, Joe, you, Rob, and Jim, and Joseph Bossy and folks like that, to be able to show them how things work, I think that right there in itself paid for the whole freaking thing. It really freaking did, because that kid got to go home and just feel so full of life and so high on life just from that one group dig. You know what I mean? That right there pays for itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But another thing I wanted to bring up, Joe was kind of showing some of the gem trees. It looked like the gem trees were a big hit too.
Oh, yeah. She took them away, but yeah, they were pretty fun to make.
No, that's... Well, you need to grab them now that I brought it up, Joe. You need to show them. Damn it.
She's going to get them.
The gem trees must have been a big hit. I mean, they were $5 to make, and it looked like, we saw a few photos back here on the West Coast of some of the gem trees that were made. Yeah, look at those.
This is a big tree one. Here, I'll show you closer. you can't really see it. Ain't focusing.
Man, that is just absolutely badass.
They are. I didn't make this when I bought
That
this.
was what? Hold on a second. Let me make sure I have her name right real quick. Let me get on here. I'm pretty sure her name was Angel Watson. That was her first time ever teaching.
Really?
She did a great job teaching how to do it.
Good job.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
that is
that
so
little
badass.
brother, that boy, his little sister, she made like 2 of them. She did a fabulous job. I couldn't believe that she did them as good as she could. I mean,
That one I like the most right there.
Yeah,
That
this is a
one's
little hollow one.
freaking sweet, dude.
Like these 2 big trees that I
Yeah.
bought from her were under $20. It's very reasonable too.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. Yeah, they're really neat.
No, they're super freaking neat, man, and that's the nice thing about her wanting to come to our group dig and actually present what she does and things like that. It blows my mind, man. Like I saw a couple of photos where the whole freaking picnic table was full of people doing gem trees. I'm like, man, maybe we need to start doing gem trees in the PB family. Like
at least a dozen. We can just use her. I mean, she'd be willing to go around.
yeah, she's agreed to come back and said she would love to do as many of them as we could get. Her name was Angel Watson.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm friends with
Thanks, Angel.
before the dig. I didn't really know 90% of the people, but now I'm friends with all of them on Facebook. So
That's
like I
awesome.
said, they were all very brand new people to me, except for 1 or 2, and we had a great time, man. It wasn't like awkward or nothing. Everybody had a great time.
That's awesome.
Everybody was blending. We all blended together well. You know what I mean?
Well, and I really hope that we can definitely have this thing happen every single year after year. I mean, meet more people and grow the East Coast PB family just massively. I mean, it gives them a safe place to be able to learn new things with dredge, high banker, meet new people, grow those connections back east, and really be able to have phenomenal group digs for years to come. That's my goal, and I really want to. One of my biggest freaking goals that I see is not in other places, I guess you could say, is bringing the kids into these group digs. Really bringing the kids into the group digs, allowing them to, get on the high bank or get on the dredge, a 2-inch, something that's safe for them, and really get them into all. What are you guys smirking about? Jeez Louise. I'm trying to be serious over here, and everyone's like what the do I need to improve my room more? Is that what you're hearing? You're hearing something else?
Yeah.
Go to your room! There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to close my door here in the studio, so that's probably why you're hearing a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I really want to get more kids involved. The more, the better. Next year, when we show up, I'm hoping I can get Arrow over there back east. I'm definitely 100% going to be there next year. I'm going to take the trip over there. But I'd really like to get a painting station. I want to get a nice, really cool, badass painting station set up, maybe get sponsored. Get a really cool painting station going for the kiddos, maybe a gem dig or a fossil dig or something like that, and really make this thing just absolutely phenomenal for all the kids, that's back east and all the families back east. I think that'd be a freaking phenomenal thing.
I mean, Ohio's got about 8 to 10 claims, with 2 different groups. So I mean, you just have to really. I know they shot us down the first time, but you talk to them for a little while, they'll probably give us some rights to go to one of them other claims too, here in Ohio.
Well, and I think if we just continue to do what we're doing and show the family vibe and the family love and show that that camaraderie, I think we're going to be able to make a lot more connections. I mean, this group dig back east just in itself made us phenomenal connections with a lot of guys back east, and that in itself is what we're after. It's almost like that growing roots kind of deal. The more you water it, the more roots grow, and the further they spread. And I think if we just keep doing what we're doing and really kick ass at it, I think we'll be, on a lot of better land and better ground all across the states. But the only way we're going to be able to do that is with all of you folks watching, us holding phenomenal group digs where, we can establish friendships and communication and stuff like that. I got a couple of comments here that love to run through. We got Sergio in the building. What's up, brother man? Let's see. Chris, what's up, Chris? Mr. Chris Hayes, what's up, brother? Kent Dowd. Raymond, he says, it was one of y'all's wives yelling at kiddos. Yep, that was my wife yelling at my kids. Raymond says, still have the opportunity to set up a PB outing at Wes's Claim in West Colorado. That's another really awesome thing that I'd really love to do. I really need to get
a hold of us because we're going to be working that out in the next few months.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, matter of fact, if you want to elaborate on that a bit, Rob, with some of the plans we got for next summer, I'd love for you to be able to elaborate on that. Kind of let everybody know, let the PB family know what we got planned and some of the things that we were thinking about having planned for summertime.
Well, for sure, we got quite a few digs planned for next year already. Definitely a Cottonwood, maybe 2 Cottonwood events, depending on how things go. I've worked out something with a Gem and Mineral Club. We're possibly doing a cabbing class, lapidary/cabbing class for the group. I've also located a few places for possibly a small fossil dig for families, children and stuff in the Indiana, Ohio area. I've talked with Muddy Miner on possibly doing something in Arizona with him. Maybe doing some crystals, maybe something down there at the diamond mine. That's still in the works.
Nice.
And as far as the West Coast goes, I know you guys talked about maybe a couple Montana and Idaho digs. And basically, if anybody has information, properties or something that you'd be interested in hosting a dig on, contact one of us. The next couple months, we want to try to get a itinerary around for everybody and release it by the beginning of January, so you guys know what's going on next year and not having to wait till the last minute.
Definitely. No, well
and
said.
We can't make it happen without you guys.
Send us a message, yeah.
No, definitely, and that's just it. Can't happen without you guys watching. I mean, we got a couple of phenomenal guys down in Arizona, and then, like you said, Raymond, over there in Colorado. We're definitely going to be putting the boots to the ground, so to speak, and really getting this group dig situation happening full blown next summer. This summer, we had the 9-day, we had the group dig back east. I had personal vacation, and I think this summer we really killed it.
And it's still going for me. I'm leaving in the morning to go up to a place with Rick Stash and enjoy some heavy digging. I think we found a spot that's going to be amazing. So cross our fingers for cool photos.
Right. No, shout out to Rick Stash too. He's one of the Washington guys over here, and he had a chance to be able to go and hang out with James and meet James and do some digging and whatnot. I'm sure a lot of you folks were able to see that on the PV page, but shout out to you, brother. I'm going to make my way over to you, next spring, next summer, next fall. We're going to make something happen for sure. But as far as that goes, a couple other things that I really wanted to bring up for sure was there's 2 different things. So the first thing would have to be our Digging Deeper podcast. During the summertime, 95% of us are out every weekend, every other weekend. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to halt during the summertime, give people the opportunity to be able to do everything that they normally do in their life and not miss out on a bunch of cool stuff that we're doing, giveaways, stuff like that. We were supposed to do a giveaway May 8th, which was in springtime. That never ended up happening. So what we're going to do is all of those prizes that we were supposed to give away in May, we're going to end up doing another giveaway. We'll probably wait and hold out till maybe Christmas time and do like a massive Christmas blowout giveaway or something like that, something insane like we did last year. But just keep in mind, we're definitely going to be doing a lot more giveaways. Like I said, summertime, we're all out doing shit. I'm busy every single weekend. Arrow's been busy every single weekend.
Yeah.
That's probably Joe, I know you're going out and dredging as much as you can, and if not, you're chopping down trees, paying your bills, and Rob, I know you're trying to establish communications and connections over there, trying to figure out where we could dip our feet in, other than just the gold prospecting, situation. So, everybody's been busy. Everybody's been really kicking ass and taking names. But in the wintertime, as you guys know, obviously, we like to kick the podcast back off. So September. So in September, we have really good guests that we're going to be kicking off the podcast with. The first podcast is going to be the second week of September. No, did I get that right? Is it first skip third? Yeah. So for the first week of September, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Obviously, we're going to make some announcements after this podcast, so you guys will know the dates, the time, so on and so forth. But we're going to give some things away for our first podcast in September. We're going to revamp it. We're going to have some commercials that we're going to be launching. And then we're going to be doing some advertisement with some of the people that we know, some of the businesses that have been real good to us. So we're definitely going to be rekindling that ember that's been burning all summer long, and bring you guys some really good entertainment, some new guests, help grow the PB community even further starting in September. So other than that, I think the second thing that I wanted to talk about was back on the topic with the Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp group dig. So we haven't mentioned in the podcast yet, but it was a paid group dig. Reason being, Jim was very reasonable on the price to get some PB members over there. We were able to make it happen. Group digs like that where the owner has a piece of property, it's a phenomenal piece of property, good gold, things like that. Sometimes it costs money, and so we have to try to get back a little bit of that money that we put down to be able to continue to have group digs year after year after year. And so there's going to be some group digs that are going to be paid group digs. That's the gist of it. But what we all decided on in our conference calls that we do every other Tuesday is we want to make sure that it's extremely affordable. We want to make sure that it is not going to cut out of anybody's gas money. It's not going to cut it. It's not, it's money that someone has sitting in their wallet and they say, hey, you know what, babe, you want to go to the group dig this weekend? You know what I mean?
Just want to make sure that, 20, 40, 50 bucks isn't going to prevent somebody from being there.
Yeah.
So, if that 20, 40, 50 bucks can get you there for a weekend, that's what we want.
Yeah.
We want you there. We want you to come join the family and learn or teach or just have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah.
That's
and that's what it boils down to is, we've all been around the block long enough to where we know where there's certain other communities out there that aren't as friendly. They, keep secrets to themselves, and that's fine. If that's how they operate, that's how they do things, then, that's nothing against us. What we're trying to do is something that's never been done before. We are trying to turn a new stone, flip a new leaf, and allow as many people as we can to keep this prospecting alive for generations to come, our kids, kids, and so on and so forth. And the only way you're able to do that is by passing that knowledge on and possibly getting people hooked and excited to go out there on an adventure. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. That's why I was so stoked to hear about that kid winning those prizes and him being full of joy, just wanting to learn everything he can, soaking it up like a sponge. That is where it's at right there. That is when you've won on a group dig, is when a child is so excited and so hooked on wanting to do what he's doing rather than being behind a tablet or a computer or a video game.
no doubt.
He's out there in nature. He's enjoying what has been brought forth to us, and there's nothing better than that. But other than that, Jim, I know you're watching. I appreciate you a lot, man. I'll be able to meet you next year. I'll be heading over there, taking a trip over there. There is some other exciting news. Yeah, Joe, I'll be
I'll
able
be
to find
coming back
you.
soon before it gets cold.
I don't doubt
Definitely
that,
gonna
brother.
I gotta go where Ben was downstream. You know what I mean?
Hey, Ben, where was that spot you found that, bro?
I kind of got a gist, so I'm just gonna go through a few bends and
That's the thing about the camp is it was
Wow.
1.75 mile long.
yeah.
Think the river, and the camp itself was really long. It's not like one big wide camp. It's kind of between the road and the river, so it's spread out.
Yeah, there's
But
different spots
he
down
had,
this road that you can camp.
yeah, he had spots where you could just see the fossils, and and the bedrock and stuff there where you could check fossils.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen a picture from last week's group dig, but somebody found a spear tip about as big as my hand.
Oh, I seen that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
mean,
badass, man.
and it's just you can find gold, arrowheads, fossils there, so it's a great place for the family or just someone who wants to get out and have a good weekend.
For
Well,
sure.
and it sounds like, I mean, most of the time we're going out for gold and whatever else we find, but it sounds like there's an abundance of a lot of different things. So no matter
I mean,
what,
it may not be a whole
you're
lot.
coming out with something.
Yeah,
And
oh,
obviously there's some bigger flakes there, so that definitely drives
not
some
that
motivation as well.
yeah, and it's not that deep of water either. I mean, so it's really nice and about perfect. I mean, it's a really nice camp, I thought.
And he even had a plan if we got rained out. He has a creek that was down the road a little ways. He was going to go up into the hills a little bit where we still could prospect, even if the main creek was a bust because it was flooded. So it wasn't going to be a bust regardless, but we was a little worried when it started pouring like crazy.
Yeah. No, that's badass. I think, honestly, what I would like to do for the PB family eventually, and of course we'll talk quite a bit about this in the next few conference calls, is set up two distinguished places on the East Coast and the West Coast where these things are the massive, like the motherlode group dig of the year. One in West Coast, one in East Coast. You don't want to miss it. We'll have vendors there. We'll have food being served there. I mean, the whole works, where it's just going to be an absolutely phenomenal experience through and throughout. I think that would be an absolutely badass idea. And, the biggest thing is finding out where we would like to do that. You know what I mean? Spend the most amount of money and really get as many PB family as we can into both group digs. But yeah, with that being said, the West Coast, it's been a little bit more tougher to figure things out. As you know, there's much more restrictions and things like that. But I got my toes wet to kind of give me an idea on where I would like to do an official group dig, where it's easy enough drive time for the surrounding states and things like that. We've been in contact with a couple of different guys, phenomenal friends of mine now, where we might end up doing a massive group dig next year, right around midsummer time for the West Coast. So with that being said, there's a couple other announcements. The website for our gear has been down. It'll be down till tomorrow around 6 p.m. I'm updating a few different things, adding a few different things. Hats will be available. I found a good supply on hats, some good quality hats for dirt cheap. So all the folks that want to get a hat, they'll be readily available come tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As far as gear goes, we are going to add a few more colors into the gear for the PB family. Once you jump on the website, you'll be able to see. The second thing I wanted to bring up, I've had an insane amount of people message me and say, hey, I can't get into this with the states list, the contact list. I can't do this. I can't do this. Can't do that. Sign up for the website first and foremost. Top right, there's a login or sign up. You click on that bad boy, sign up for the website. The second you sign up for our website, www.prospectingbuddy.org, the second you sign up, you will be able to get into our state's contact list and be able to reach out to folks right then and there. Third thing I wanted to bring up is our forum. We have a forum that, will help you with literally any questions, hits, runs, errors, concerns that you could possibly imagine. The second you post something on our forum, every single person in the contacts lists across the entire website that has ever signed up for our website, which is insanely a massive amount, just under 2 years, you'll get an answer within seconds. You won't have to wait for this guy or that guy to say, oh, well, you should have just done that. No, you're going to get a direct response, and solve your situation right there, right on the spot. So use our forum to your advantage. Use our state's contact list to your advantage. And we're also doing rewards. So I decided, I sat down, thought about it for days and days and days. We're doing a rewards program now. So, I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I'm going to make you guys go to the website and check it out. There's a tab specifically for our rewards. Go over there. After so many rewards, within 5 people or 10 people or 15 or whatever, we're going to give up one of our pay dirt bags away. As you guys know, we did the 1 gram sourdough pay dirt bag for, we donated to Ronnie James for that family, and we did that, 6-7 months ago. That pay dirt bag, the reviews on that was through the roof. We did another pay dirt bag to give away for the Back East group dig. So obviously the rewards program is very worth it. We'll be doing a pay dirt bag, or we'll be doing, a shirt, sweatshirt, hat, whatever we decide to come up with in our conference calls. So definitely make sure that you go to our website, www.prospectingbuddy.org, sign your ass up, and then that way you'll be able to see a lot of what we got going on. The last thing before I make everybody fall asleep, because I've been talking quite a fucking bit. The fourth thing is our newsletter. So we haven't been on our newsletter quite often. Obviously, we've been behind the 8 ball with that. Between our vacations, going out and digging, between trying to update the website, between trying to get the appropriate guys to be able to help out with certain things, it's just been a complete nightmare. But I think we're back on track, and I think September is when we're really going to hit it hard. But the newsletter's huge. So we have a lot of catching up to do with a lot of the photos that's been sent over to us for the newsletter. But the newsletter is going to kick off actually in 5 days. It's going to be kicked off and sent to your email. So if you're not signed up for the website, you're not going to get it. The nice thing is this fall and winter time, you're going to get discount codes. So you're going to get a promotional discount code for a lot of different, well, I can't say the names. You just have to be signed up for the website to get those codes. I was told not to say any businesses' names. You just got to go on there, sign up to the website, you'll get the newsletter, and if there's a promo code in there and you're looking for this or you're trying to buy that, more than likely you're going to be able to grab that discount code and get a little bit off of what you're looking for. Other than that, Jim McIntyre says, shout out to Muddy Miner Supplies, Limited Liability Company. Shout out to Mr. Muddy Miner. Hey, brother, man, I can't wait to get you on the podcast. Hopefully you'll be able to see this stream.
Set of Sarukas too.
Yeah, I appreciate you donating the Sarukas. Those are actually badass, man.
Wow.
Thank you, Solomon.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I did send you a message about a week or 2 ago. We definitely need to get together, get some things figured out for the newsletter. We got a little bit of time, so I think we can make something happen. But anyways, other than that, I think we're ready to wrap this bad boy up. Does anybody have any hits, runs, errors, concerns?
I got a question. Did we get the shirt sent out to the winner yet?
No, Rob.
Okay.
So Rob sent me a message the day before yesterday on the folks who won the T-shirts. There's one individual that will need a custom order. We go up to a specific size and go down to a specific size. So within our margin of what we have for the PB store is different. But since he ended up winning, I'm going to go ahead and go through, get a custom order in. It's going to take about a week to 2 weeks.
Nice.
But we'll get him his T-shirt, and then the other winners that Rob sent me, I already got the ball rolling on that. So, it'll take, for anybody watching, if it was one of you that did win, give me about 1 to 2 weeks, and I'll get it sent your way.
I mentioned
I'll make
it.
sure you're taken care of. No, I appreciate you bringing that up. I definitely appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, with that being said, like I said, first week of September, we have the podcast. Don't forget about
Chris
it.
Gill. Chris Gill, he won the
Chris Gill.
specimen.
I'm sorry, say that again?
He won the specimen. Chris Gill.
Yeah, Chris Gill.
Chris Goo. Hey, congratulations, brother. I hope you like that piece, and I hope it really adds to your collection, man. That is a phenomenal piece. Phenomenal piece indeed, and I'm glad that you were the winner for it. That's for damn
I about got ran over for that one. They were about to run me down when they seen that.
No, I really wanted to make sure that we had a grand prize for all the PB family. That's what it's about, man. Just extremely exciting stuff for the PB family. Try to keep that ball rolling and get people
everybody
excited.
had a blast, man. Everybody had a blast. They loved it. I was stressed out about it. It turned out way better than I could have ever planned. The only thing I think we might need for next year could be a few extra helping hands if some people want to volunteer to help out.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get out there. Yeah,
a couple
Get you guys out here, and I got my 2 extra helping hands.
That's true. Well, I'll be out there for sure, and I'm gonna con Arrow into going. If I got to drive 5 hours and rope them up and put them in the back of the truck, that's perfectly fine with me. So.
Well, luckily I sleep well while we're driving.
Yeah, you do. In fact, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No more torture for Arrow.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Oh, we haven't busted out the photos yet, buddy. No.
No, we got quite a bit. That's for sure. Terry just brought up a good comment here. He said, "Would y'all like NCDC 1 dates, North Carolina fall Whitewater AU some?" Terry, go ahead and post the dates in the comments there, brother man, and excuse me, I'll go ahead and announce them for everybody.
He's also someone that wants to work on a PB dig in North Carolina with us next year.
I'll definitely go to that. No,
that's actually absolutely badass. That's Terry, we do got to talk a little bit more. I haven't been putting you off or anything, buddy. I'm back at home. I'm extremely busy. And trying to manage a billion different things all at once, group digs over here, and things like that. I do apologize from the bottom of my heart that I haven't been able to properly sit down with you in a conference call and really get some dates hashed out. But, I definitely would love to get some dates hashed out. Like Rob was saying earlier, we're trying to create an official PB itinerary by January or by the end of January. That way, every single person in the PB family, no matter how many times it's been posted on the page, no matter how many times it's been put on the website, every single person will get a chance at all the group digs we got going on. So,
and to give them time to plan a little bit better for vacations, etc., during the winter, stuff like that, when they have months in advance notice.
Yeah,
right. For sure. Totally agree. Another person that I wanted to shout out to real quick was Mr. Flash in Your Pan, Mr. Ed Marvin. What's up, brother? I hope you're doing good. Been super busy, so I haven't been able to jump on your guys' Tuesday night hangouts, but I'd love to see more of those, brother. I definitely long time no see, long time no talk. That's for dang sure. But yeah, Terry, go ahead and drop the dates real quick, brother, right there in the comments. That way I can get some announcements out. Get some people sent your way, brother. We do have a few more comments that I wanted to run through real quick. Mr. Matthew says, "I will be building me a dredge soon. Already been looking on Facebook Marketplace for parts." Oh man, you got it. Yeah, you got him hooked,
man. Everybody had the fever. They all had the fever by the time they left. It was just unavoidable.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. We got another comment here by Mr. Raymond. That was a little bit earlier, about 20 minutes ago. He says, "It's really nice through spring and now after Labor Day is awesome. Kids and families always welcome there as well." Raymond, we definitely got to get together and definitely talk with Wes and see what we can get figured out. Colorado is Arrow's home state. That's where he was born and raised. He loves that place like the back of his hand, loves it and knows it like the back of his hand, excuse me. So I'd really love to get a group dig over there if that's possible, man. That would be
Sukasa?
yeah, Casa su Casa. That's right, man.
Well, me and Joe will hop on the train and be out there in a couple of days.
They need to build that underground bullet thing. We'll be out there quick.
Another shout out before Terry puts the dates up here in the comments. Mr. John Pan, he lost a family member of his. He posted on the PB group page. My condolences to you and your family, brother. I pray that you do find some spot in your heart to be able to live with that situation that you got going on, man. I mean, anytime any of us lose a family member, it is a massive deal, especially if they've made an impact in our lives. And, I just wanted to tell you from here to you, brother, my condolences.
I do believe he's trying to do a dig on his claim to
raise money.
So if anybody wants to go up and dig for gold and donate the gold to the family, reach out to John and he'll let you know what needs to be done.
Yeah, John is over in Canada. So for all of our Canadian folks in the PB family, reach out to John Pan, just like Arrow said, and hopefully you guys can make it. Hopefully you guys can raise some funds and help out with that situation at hand. Terry had just now posted a comment, and he said, NCDC 1 North Carolina Fall White Water AUSM November 18th through the 20th, 2022. So that's actually coming up. That's coming up pretty damn quick. So I'm going to announce the date one more time, November 18th through the 20th, 2022. So that's coming up super quick. So if any of you guys can make it to that, show Terry some love, bring some PB family over his way, and let's grow them roots. Let's definitely grow them roots.
North Carolina stays warm too, so remember that.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. No, that's badass. So with that being said, I think we're ready to wrap this up, call it an evening. Anybody have any hits, runs, errors, concerns, or something I kind of forgot about?
Nope.
No, just everybody out there, if you got any ideas or things you want to see or stuff like that, let us know. We'd be happy to see if we can work something out. Other than that, I hope you guys have been having a good summer and getting out and digging as much as you can and spending time with family and friends. So we'll see you here in a few weeks.
Definitely. One last thing to add before we jump off of here, everybody, is if anybody within your respective state wants to become a state representative for the PB family, reach out to any one of us. You know who is all taking care of the PB family. Arrow, Rob, Joe, Sergio, James, Chuck Bauer, Chuck Butler, Tina, Stephen Bertrand, Chris Hayes. Reach out to one of us. If you want to be a state representative, hold a group dig in your state, we'll definitely make sure you're well taken care of, and we'll have a hell of a time. Hopefully we can turn it into something we could do year after year, if that's something you want to do. So if that is something you want to do, reach out to one of us, and we'd love to host a group dig over there and strengthen our relationships. That's for damn sure. So
yeah.
With that being said, I hope every single one of you watching this evening has a wonderful night. Stay tuned. Look forward to our podcast in September, our first podcast in September. As a reminder, we're not doing it every week. We do it every other week. So the first week of September, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Skip a week. The next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So with that being said, Joe, I hope you have a good night, brother man. Arrow, I hope you have a good night, brother man. Rob, I hope you have a good night, brother man. And every single one of you watching this evening, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being a part of the PB family. I'm out of here.
Peace.
See you guys.
Later.
Good night.